we need to make sure that whatever we are learning, that should be preserved with us, and we should be able to use that thing. So that's why here, previously, we in the first experiment, we have seen the definition language commands, so which are required in order to create a table with the desired structure. And hence, there we have seen the commands of create table, alter table, and also applying some constraints like domain constraints, primary key, foreign key, and few more, not null, etc. Unique. These constraints we have seen. So now we are looking about the data manipulation. So insert, update, delete, these queries also we have seen. Now we are moving towards the more advanced part of the select queries. So here, whatever this queries we are learning, so these queries are based on the multiple structures, and that's why it means they might be select queries on a single relation, or queries may be on multiple relations. And that's why whatever select queries we are learning, this we have categorized into two categories. First, simple queries where we need only single relation, and another where we need multiple relations, or we may be requiring multiple operators or multiple conditions. Okay, so any doubt, so please go through these statements for once, and we will start with the today's remaining queries. So here, uh, first retrieve the names of all instructors along with their department names and department building name. So this relation here, the names of instructor is available into instructor relation. Department names of instructors is also available into instructor relation. But whatever department building name is there, that was not available, and that's why we have gone through two relations. So whenever we are giving two relations as input to the from clause, so this always performs a Cartesian product of these two relations. And hence, whatever Cartesian relation, there we will get two department names into the instructor and department. And that's why here a department name to be chosen from the instructor or to be chosen from the department, that becomes ambiguous to the compiler. And that's why here, whenever we are choosing any common field or common attribute, that time we should pass a relation name also as a prefix dot the attribute name. And hence here we have written instructor dot department name. Wherever there is only unique attributes are there which is not common to the both relations, there we can pass the attribute name as it is or column name as it is, which are only belong to the single relation. But those attributes which are belonging to the multiple relations, there it is mandatory for us to mention the relation name. Okay, so here that's why we have written instructor dot department name. Then we have solved this query regarding finding the course identifiers. Next, we have find out those course IDs which are taught by the instructor, and that's why here we have seen this relation, this schema also. So schema just we have written to make how to take. It means what are the required things, and on that basis, which are the input relations we should take. So this was the here we have find out instructor names, and also we have find out which course IDs which they have taught. Now here again we have find out the course instructor name and titles which they have taught. And then we have started with this query, that consider a query to find the set of all course IDs taught in fall 2009 semester, the spring 2010 semester, or both. Okay, so here right now whatever this query is there, this is dealing with the first part. Okay, or both we will deal this with later. So right now we are dealing with this first part, that is consider a query. It means that either the course course ID should be taught in this. So when any course was taught, this information is available into teachers as well as in section or in other relations also. So here, whenever we wanted to know that here, find consider a query to find set of all courses IDs taught in for 2009 semester, the spring 2010 semester. So here, so already we have seen with the schema. So right now we have dealt with instructor, course and teachers. So here I have taken teachers, which is my fault. I should not have taken this. There is no wrong here. This will not list us any wrong results, but the problem is that actually teachers is a not correct relation that we should take for this, because here this might happen that in fall 2009 the any course has been taught by multiple instructors, because multiple divisions can be also there. So there it is possibility that that course might be listed once or twice or thrice, etc. So here for this particular problem, we should refer to the another relation, which is the section relation. Okay, in the section, we are having complete information that this course was taken in this section with this section ID, was taught in the semester, this semester, in year, in building, in room number, and time slot ID. So here there it doesn't carry the information who has taught this. Actually, we are interested in when this course was taken. And for this purpose, we need not to have who has taught this course. Yes, of course, in the teachers also this information is available. But here the information might get repeated. Right now, we don't have any such a repetition of the information. But there can be a possibility of repeating the information into the teachers. So that's why we should refer the section relation as an appropriate relation for giving the answer for this query. Okay, so let me take the schema for this. So we are having section relation. In the section, we are having the course ID. Is anybody getting what I'm trying to say? Semester, year, then building, then room number, and time slot ID. Okay, so these are the fields of section. So let us go to this query. Control V. Okay. So okay, right now we are focusing on this schema for solving this question. So here I will be using this section relation. This section relation, and I will check semester equal to fall, year equal to 2009, and semester equal to spring or year equal to 2010. So here, as we're dealing with the first part, either this one or either this one. So in that case, we know that or it means that either of the condition is true, we will consider this as a true. So here, there is a separate, it means wherever we are using the programming languages, this handles these operators very specifically. So here for the or, we know that either a singular input is true, the result will be true. And for this purpose, whenever expression 1, okay, let us consider that this is my expression 1 and this is my expression 2. Okay, as and is there, so a priority is given to the and that's why this will be taken as a one condition and this will be taken as a another condition. Okay, and that's why whenever there is a, these are the binary operators. So here whenever the first expression comes true without computation of the e2 or second expression, this will directly give the result as true. Okay, this is how the or operator checks. If consider in case the first condition is false, then only it will go for E2 to evaluate. So the result completely will be based on the E2. And that's why in such cases only it will check for the E2 whether the second condition is true or not. Okay, this is how the or operator computes the expressions. And next, and. Okay, for the and, we know that every input should be true, or every expression, whatever input is for the and, each should reply with the true, then only the answer will be true. If consider in the expression 1, if the result of this computation is false, then it makes the conclusion that the answer will be false without evaluating the E2. Okay, so here if first answer is wrong or first expression gives the false, then and doesn't feel necessary to compute the E2, and that's why it will directly mention this condition as a false, because either of the input is false, the and will be false only, and so it doesn't compute for the second expression. But in case this comes true, okay, then only the result will be completely based on the E2. If E2 is false, result will be false. If E2 is true, then only the result will be true. So for this purpose, E1 and E2 both should be true. That is the condition. So here, whenever we are dealing with the or condition, or it is very easy for compiler to check with a semester equal to fall or year equal to 2009. Okay, this is one condition and this is second condition. So simultaneously or operator can check either this can be true or this can be true. But when it comes to the and, okay, if I'm writing and here, do you think that this expression might written be true? Any chances? Please answer my question. Is there a possibility of having this expression to return true?
Ma'am, if the condition will satisfy like fall to means semester equal to false and year equal to 2009
Hmm?
and semester equal to spring and year 2000, it's totally depend upon our data means how much semester of fall and year which having the year 2009.
Okay, as you said that this is completely based on the data, let us go through the relation. Okay, I will copy this condition and let us go through the relation itself. Okay, as we are dealing with the section relation, I will copy this data here. Okay, let us check the values of semester. Semester equal to fall, no. Semester equal to fall, no. Third, okay, at this point I got the semester equal to fall and year equal to 2009. First condition satisfied. Now semester equal to spring and year equal to 2010. Is there a possibility that at this point I will get this condition to be true?
No, no, it will get fall.
Yes, here this will get false just because here we are having condition based on the same attribute. Okay, in case of or, okay, when it was or, at this point this condition is true, it means that the complete answer will be true. So it will not check for the second condition. If consider first condition is false, then only it will go for checking the second condition to be true. But in case we are having and, okay, whenever there is and, two attribute, one same attribute, okay, semester equal to spring and semester equal to fall, okay. here there is no possibility that same attribute can take two values, and it means that I should have this condition to be true and this condition to be also true. So simultaneously having both values for a semester, that is not possible. And here also year equal to either it can be 2009 or it can be 2010. Simultaneously two values are true, no, no possible, because all these attributes are atomic in nature. It means it cannot hold the multi values, etc. Here, the thing is that I wanted to explain that simultaneously these attributes, whenever we are having conditions based on the same attribute, we cannot check whether two values can be simultaneously true. No, either semester can be fall or it can be spring. So here it means that whatever this and I'm using, it will never return me any true conditions. There is no practical possibility that it can return me the true in this case. If it is or, yes, it can return me the true. But because here either this can be true or this can be true. Simultaneously both are true? No, that is not possible, because we are having condition based on the same attributes. And at a time, attribute can take either this value or some another value. But simultaneously taking these two values is not possible. So here we need to move to the another concept which is called as a nested queries. Okay, clear with the scenario why we need to move to the nested queries? Here, whatever this condition, that's we wanted to take the common courses in spring 2010 and fall 2009. Here the thing is that it means first I will check. It means first I will list those course IDs which are taught in the fall 2009. Okay, this query is going to return me those courses which are taught in fall 2009. Similarly, on the basis of this, okay, on the basis of this, I will also calculate those course IDs which are taught in spring 2010. Okay, so both here I will get some 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 courses, etc. Here also I will get some answer as query. So now I need to check whether what is the common between this query output and this query output. Then I can say that those courses which are common in output of these two queries can be a course which is taught in fall 2009 also and which was taught in spring 2010 also. Clear with this? Clear with the scenario? Clear with the scenario?
Yeah, ma'am, it's clear.
Nobody else is online to listen the lecture. Ankita? Avinash? Okay. So here, whenever we are trying to compute such results, wherever we are having attributes based on conditions based on the same attributes but different values, here we will check that whatever the result given by this initial query and result given by the second query to be intersection, and I already shown you that PHP MyAdmin neither MySQL understands the intersection. So it means that there should be some another way to perform this. So for this purpose, we are using here a concept of nested queries. So this already we have taken in the theory part. So here I will go through this query. So this query will be completed in this way. Okay. So in that case, whatever enclosed query in the brackets is there, this will be called as inner query. And whatever this final output query, this will be called as the outer query. So here we wanted to check those course IDs which are taught in fall 2009 and which are taught in spring 2010. So what we will do, first we will calculate those course IDs which are taught in Spring 2010. Okay, so let us calculate which are those courses. So I think I remember some lightly that we computed this. Okay, we will list here those courses. Okay, Spring 2010. We will take only simple course IDs. Yes, Spring 2010 CS101 is there. So CS101. Next, Spring 2010 CS315 is there. CS315 is there. Then CS319. 319. As two are there, so it removes the duplicate. So still we will list that twice. Spring 2010, 15, 19, 19. Then Finance 201. Then History 351 and MU 199. Okay, these are the courses which were taught in Spring 2010. Okay, now let us go for those courses which are taught in Fall 2009. So we are having Physics 101, Physics 101. Next, we are having CS 347, CS 347, and one more CS 101. Okay, so these are the courses which are taught in Spring 2010 and Fall 2009. So here, right now, whatever query we have written, whatever query we have written, so this is having the inner query. So here, right now, this query is checking whether how this conditions will be true. Okay, so it means that here initially I'm writing, so whatever this query is there, that query will be replaced by this answer. So whenever the outer query is getting executed, this will check for this condition. Yes, for 2009. So this course ID will satisfy this condition, and also it will check and whatever the course ID is there, whether that course ID is available in the result of this query. Okay, so in connective here we have chosen. So in is called as a operator which is used for the set membership. Set membership whether this value is available in this set. Whatever the output of this query will be there, so this will be given as a set value because set it means unordered list and hence and no duplicate. So this will remove this duplicate value, and hence whenever any course ID satisfying this condition, this will check. Let us take this condition. Okay, Physics 101. It will check whether Physics 101 is available in this output. If not, so this will not be the part of output. Now CS347. CS347 is also not available here. And last is CS101. CS101 is available in this output, and hence there will be only a single output CS101 in the this complete query output. So let me check whether we can execute this query in PHP MyAdmin. So please go through this query. Yes, we are getting the output. The screen is visible. So here, whatever query I have written, that query I will type here. So course ID, finding those from the fall, and spring 2010, and calculating those IDs which are taught. Yes, we have got the result as CS101. Clear with this? Clear with this? In case, consider that we need or both. Consider we wanted to find, consider query to find set of all course IDs taught in fall 2009 but not in, okay, not in spring 2010. Okay, consider this is my requirement. So in that case, instead of this, we need to use a not in operator. So okay, which is exactly reverse used for the not to check the set membership. So it means we wanted to list those course IDs which are taught in this but not taught in this year. It means except CS101, we need to find out those course IDs, these two. Then let us write this query. Instead of in, we will check the set membership by using not in operator. So instead of in, we will use a not in. Yes, we have got the remaining two results, CS347 and Physics 101. Done? So okay, go through the query once and then we will go for the next query. So here is the next statement, the same statement. Find all courses taught in for 2009 and but not in spring 2010. So similarly we can. Or if we wanted to list those course IDs which are taught in spring 2010 but not in fall 2009, reverse the conditions. Here take spring 2010 and here take fall 2009. The next, find the names of all instructors in the physics department together with the course IDs of all courses they taught. Okay, so we wanted to list those instructors, all instructors in the physics department together with the course IDs of all courses they taught. So again, start with the writing the query. So basic form of the query. Select from and background. Now here we wanted to take those instructors names we wanted to list. So here I will list first name and name of the instructor is available in the instructor relation. Instructor relation. Next, find the names of all instructors in the physics department together with the course IDs of all courses they taught. Okay, so we wanted to list the course ID also. So whatever the courses taught by the instructors are there, so these are available in the teachers relation. So in the teachers relation, I'm having course ID also. So here it means that I need not to go for the some other relation. Okay, so teachers relation we will use this, and here we wanted to list those instructors who are from the physics department only. So get the physics department for instructors. So we can check instructor or department name equal to physics. Only sufficient these many conditions.
No, ma'am, no.
Then
Then depart both having the column as a department. Okay, teachers. Okay. Then common attribute. We have to find out the common attribute. If there is a common attribute, where it is.
equivalence we have to
Uh,
go for. Okay.
yeah.
So here equivalence we can go for, but that is teachers and instructor. Both are having the common attribute as a ID. So instead of performing this, we can go for writing here as a natural join also. Okay. So instructor natural join teachers. This will also list me the same. Natural join it means that whatever the common attributes are there, go for the equivalence of these values and then you can list those. So let us see whether this query also gives us the same output. Here department name we are choosing it as a physics. So let us check. No query results. Okay, let me go through the schema first. Data values. Whether there is any instructor with the physics department. In the physics, we are having two instructors, Gold and Einstein. Check instructor name equal to X. We don't have any instructors in the physics department. In the previous case, I think I have removed this. So just now within 2 minutes, I will enter this value. Yes, there are right now two instructors are there. But I think we need to insert data for the section as well as courses. In the course, let me check whether data is available. Yes, there is entry available for the physics 101, and in the section, let me check. Yes, in the section also we are having fall 2009 value, but I think we don't have value in the teachers. Teachers, this entry is not available. We'll make this entry. Yes, we got this value. Now we can execute that our previous query. Yes, we got the Einstein Physics 101. Means this query, natural join will also give us the same output. And if we try the previous way, okay, instead of performing the natural join, if consider we performed equivalence on these attributes, still it gives us the same output. So here we can pass the and condition. So we can pass the instructor dot id equal to teachers dot id. So let us check whether can we get same output. Yes, still we are getting a same output. Okay, so instead of using uh, equivalence conditions repeatedly, we can go for using the natural join also in the same way. Okay, so now try this query. Find the highest salary in the university. Anybody answer?
Ma'am,
Hmm?
can you up the slide for while
Yes.
again? Well, where you wrote the schema of the uh, three tables. Yeah.
This one.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, ma'am, you can down the slide where the question is. Yeah.
So anyone would like to answer the given question?
Yeah,
Finding the
ma'am.
highest salary in the university.
Means, ma'am, we are having the only table of instructor. Means,
Hmm.
select max in round bracket salary as M sal from instructor.
Correct.
Max
Hmm.
in round bracket salary as M sal. Give what? Okay.
Okay.
From instructor. Yeah.
Instructor. And need not to go for where condition because we are going for all the instructors. Yes, this is right. So here we need to use a aggregate function. So aggregate function is used whenever we want to aggregate the data. So there are five aggregate functions are there: mean, max, average, sum, count. So out of this, except sum and average, we can use other functions on any type of data. That alphabetical data also mean, max, and count can be used. Only sum and average are only can be used on the integer. So here, whenever we wanted to find out the max salary within the university, so it means that this condition we are applying on the every instructor. It means every employee in the university. That's why we don't apply any conditions. But here the specification is there that department name should be so and so or name should be so and so. Then we can pass such conditions in the where clause. So this is the how we can go for the selecting the highest salary in the university. And if consider we say that find the highest salary in the computer science department or in the physics department, then we can go for where department name equal to physics or computer science. Whatever the condition, it is required. So I hope you all are clear with this question and answer. So now we can move to the next question. Find the names of all instructors in the physics department together with the course IDs of courses they taught. So this question already we have dealt with. Now we can move to this one. Find the instructor name who earns highest salary in the university. So here, same query as previous, but the question is that here we need to find out the uh, here we need to find out the name of that instructor. Okay, who is having the highest salary? Now, how we can? Any idea how we can?
Ma'am, just wait. Means I have to think. Like,
Okay,
Ma'am, can I tell?
Yes.
Select a name, means select name, comma, maxal as a msal from instructor, where where salary, sorry, what, huh? Where
Where?
salary equal to msal.
Equal to yam sal.
So, uh, or what you can say. Now I'm confused.
Here, for this purpose, we always need to check the flow of the execution. Okay, so we know that first from clause get executes, then where clause get executes. So now, do you think that yum sal rename I have done into the select clause? This can be applicable to the where clause? Of course, no, this will not be applicable here. The thing is that because yum sal, this value itself is getting calculated at the last phase of the query. Okay, and that's why here we need not to go, or we cannot write the condition based on the previous, or we cannot use this name into the where clause. So because this is the very last clause always gets executed. So here again we need to go for the uh, nested query. So because salary equal to, again here we need to write a select max salary from instructor. Okay, salary equal to max salary. Again here the things comes, whether can we get a single value or can we get a multiple value. So here again we can use a in operator. Okay, there can be multiple instructors who are having value equal to the max salary, and that's why here we need to use this as a function. So salary in max salary from the instructor. So let us execute this query. So here we are getting the result as BANDT. Let us check whether in the instructor relation we are having. So let us find out the max salary. Max salary is with the Einstein. Right now, yes, 95,000. This is the max value available. And rank with the computer science 92,000. How this can be? Yes, actually, thing is that uh, whether screen is visible to you. So here, in the some of the cases, we have gone for the 16 or 80% increment, and because of this, this brand is having max salary 96,600. Okay, so this was the max salary available in complete university, and physics. This was the second last. Done.
Ma'am,
Hmm?
can you explain
Yes.
once again?
Yes, I
Oh,
can explain. So
then if
here
nothing,
again,
means
yes,
the last query, okay? The last query.
the last query here. Thing is that we cannot. Okay, first execute this query. Okay, what it says. Max salary as YAMSAL. Okay, so this query gives us a 96,600 as a name. Okay, now let us go through the way you have given explained the query. So thing is that whenever we are using this select query, And if we try to give here a name, etc. Okay, so here actually this works in some different way. Max salary name and where salary, okay, salary equal to m sal. Okay, this concept. Then it will give us that unknown column m sal in the where clause, because where clause execution is after the select, where clause executes before the select clause, and that's why here we cannot use the salary name or whatever this attribute we have listed here. So execution sequence is always in this flow. Okay, so execution way is this way. So here if I'm declaring any variable, I cannot use in the previous statement. That's why here we need to use this as a query. So where clause, if I remove and simply if I try to display a name, so this will give me the ABC name. So PHP MyAdmin, whenever we are using aggregate functions, etc. So whatever applicable rows are there, so it always gives me the first name. Okay, in the instructor relation, I'm having ABC as my first record. Okay, and that's why even though I'm having name for the brand is the person who is having the max salary name as different, still it will list the first result in the aggregate function, which is not a correct. So what we will do, we will calculate a query. Okay, so we will calculate a max query. Okay, max salary. There can be multiple instructors who are having this salary. So from instructor, so this query gives me the correct result that yes, there is a max salary available in the instructor relation, and we need to find out the person who is having the same salary. Okay, so whatever salary we wanted to check, the salary will be equal to the max salary given by this. But the thing is that whatever this select query is there, it always returns us a relation. Let it be single tuple, let it be multiple tuple, etc. So we will check whether this salary, the instructor's salary, whatever we are taking, whether this salary is available in the output of this query. If the salary is available, yes, we know that max function gives only a single result, but still we are considering this output it as a set, and we wanted to check whether the current instructor, let it be ABC, let it be XYZ, Einstein or Gold or anyone, whatever the person or tuple we have taken, that salary should be matching with the input or output of this query. So this becomes our where clause condition, that salary should be available in that salary. And then we can write the condition that select name and max salary, or simply salary, because we are not applying any function, etc. Salary from instructor, where salary in select max is equal to this one. So let us go for this. So this will give us the brand and max salary. Okay, thing I wanted to explain is that म्हणजे इथं कसं होतं की मॅक्स सॅलरी कॅल्क्युलेट होते माझी, पण तोच पर्सन माझा घेऊ शकत नाही. मी काय करणार की मॅक्स सॅलरी कॅल्क्युलेट करणार आणि बघणार की कुणाची सॅलरी इज इक्वल टू द मॅक्स सॅलरी आहे. म्हणजे मी प्रत्येक पर्सन घेणार आणि त्या प्रत्येक पर्सनची सॅलरी बघणार की मॅक्स सॅलरी सोबत आहे का. जर असेल तर तो मग मी आउटपुट मध्ये लिस्ट करणार. डन. क्लिअर. आन्सर दाखवतात का एकदा. Okay, go through the answer first. Done. Shall we go for the next query now? Okay, so next query is in the same phase. Find the department name that has most instructors. Okay, find the department name that has most instructors. This means that we have to count the instructors in each department and the department who is having the maximum, it means maximum or highest instructor, that department name we have to list. For example, CS is having 3 instructors, ENDX is having 5 instructors, or A other departments. So we have to name that department name which is having a maximum instructor or highest count of the instructors. So anybody got the answer for the 11th query?
Ma'am, wait for 1 second.
Okay.
Ma'am, can I tell?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Select department name from instructor where name in round bracket. Select count in round bracket name from instructor. Okay.
Mm.
Select department name, DPT name just from instructor where name in round bracket. Select count in bracket name from instructor. I don't
Sure.
know. Miss, is it right or wrong? Just I'm confused. Like I only know how to count that name, but how to apply the means who having means which department having the most instructors. So I'm confused.
Okay, the first thing is that whenever we are counting the name, why we need to count the name?
For
Here the
knowing
name,
the means we can count anything means course ID and anything.
no. Actually, thing is that whenever we are counting regarding individual instructor, here name can be duplicates also. Okay, in our case right now, whatever the current
Yeah.
data set is there, name is not duplicated, but whenever we wanted to count every individual for the ones, we need not to take a name. We should always take ID because ID is always unique and there is no way of counting or skipping any of the instructor. Okay, done with this. So now here, now the question comes whether we wanted to count the number of instructors in the university. No, here we wanted to count instructors department wise. Okay, that's why here we need to use a group by query. Group by department name. This we have to count. It means every ID, whatever department name is there, in that way we need to count. That's why here we will take uh, another, it means per department how many instructors are there, that we will count. So let us execute this query. Screen is visible for the PHP or simply a window is shared. So here we can, whether the screen is visible, here this will know us how many instructors are there per department. Okay, done. So this will list us that there is department null. So null will be taken as a separate criteria. There is one instructor with the null. In the biology, one instructor is there. In computer science, three are there. Electrical engineering, one. History, two. And physics, two. Okay. Now here we wanted to take those department names where the count is maximum. Okay. This computer science we wanted to list. So how we can modify the existing query? Here we want to list those IDs which are having the max ID. So let us check whether we can apply the nested function. Nested ID. I also don't know whether this can execute. So here we cannot go for invalid use of group function. Okay, so it means right now we cannot take this as a function. So let us go for some another option. Now we have taken this. Now what are the course IDs there? We will get this course ID by another variable as int count. Okay, and we will check those course IDs which are having the maximum course ID. Now here this course ID we have taken. Now I will write the query on the this WordPad. So department name, course ID, we will take this. Okay, so this will give us the instructor count. Now this condition we wanted to apply, and whatever this count, inst count we have taken, we wanted to have this maximum value in the output. So what we will do, in the where clause, we will apply the condition. Out of this, we need to select the maximum count. So we need to apply a condition on the group. So again, use this group by clause, group by department name. Okay, and having condition we can apply, having out of these all the counts, we need to take the maximum count. Now let me think how we can apply this. Having max let me check whether this can work. Now we cannot get this. Any way to solve this query? So one way is that we can create a view, but this will get long, much more lengthier. Create view, even as select count by department name. Okay, count ID as inst department name, and we will take the department name also. Okay, count ID as inst count. So this will execute this query. Let's see. So we will select star from C1. Okay. So this will list us department name and inst. And now we can use, let's see. So here we can go for department name, inst count, even where inst found in maths found. Yes, this will list as a computer science. So here what I have done is that I have taken a view. I have taken a view which will list us, which will keep account of how many instructors are there in the each department, and then from that view we have counted each department, and from each department this column explicitly we have taken and we have applied the max function on that, and then so we created uh, department name, count ID as inst count from the instructor group by department name. So whatever V1 is there, so this will preserve the result of this query. And from that we have taken the maximum inst count and we checked for those inst count which is equal to the maximum, and for that we have listed the department name and inst count. So this seems difficult. So before the next lecture I will check whether another answer can be obtained for this. Please try to understand this result. Go through the result first and then we'll go for the second one. Okay, let us go for the next. Find those departments whose instructor earn a salary on average than the average salary of physics department. So all these queries are in the same phase that we need to calculate the average salary of the instructors of each department and then check who is having the average salary. So here we wanted to get the average salary of instructors in the physics department. First get that result, select from and where clause. So in the select we wanted to list the average salary. So get the average salary. So initially we do not want the salary of all the instructors. So we will list the average salary of only physics department. Department name equal to physics. Physics. Correct with the spelling? Yes. Physics, and then after that we can check whether average salary of that department is equal to or greater than this. So again it means that whatever this query result is there, that we have to take it as a inner query and then we can give the answer to the given statement. So then write on the basic form the query, select from and where clause. So in the where we need to, so first find those departments whose instructors earn a higher salary on average than the average salary of physics department. So this will give us the average salary of the physics department. Only single value is there. But now we need to check whether average salary of other departments is also greater than this. So here in the where clause, we need to calculate first, we need to calculate the average salary of all the departments. So okay, here from instructor, okay, and we can group all the instructors by department name. Okay, so we need to calculate average salary of each department. So we can use the having condition where we wanted to apply condition on the group. So having average salary, so we need to calculate the higher values. So check this average salary and then we can list the department name. Done. So this will be the answer for the given query. Having average salary. Let us check this on the PHP MyAdmin. Whether this screen is visible to you. There is no other department who wants higher salary. Okay, first list those departments who, let us display all the departments with the average salary. Salary from the instructor group by department name. Okay. Physics is having average salary as 91,000. Biology, yes, we are having the max salary, average salary for the physics department only. That's why we got the result as null. Consider instead of physics, we will use a computer science department. Computer science department. Other than this, we are having electrical engineering and physics department with a higher salaries. So we will change our query. Instead of physics, we will use a computer science. Yes, there are two departments, electrical engineering and physics. Done. Still any queries? Let me know. Clear? So this will be the last query which we will be executing. Find all instructors in the database who teach a course other than their own department. Okay, so this means that whatever the instructor's department is there and course in or subject which was taught in the other department, whether there is any matching for this. So first let us check those courses which are taught by the instructors and titles and department name. So this query already I think we have solved. So for this purpose we need a three relations, three relations of this schema. Control C. Let us find out first all the courses or so here requirement is that this department name and this department should not be matching. So initially let us list those courses which are taught by instructor as well as with those courses, course titles and department names which are given by the instructors. So select, let us list the ID, name of the instructor and then department name of the instructor also we wanted to list. So we will use I variable for the instructor. So let us write the basic form to query that the instructor as I, then course as C and teachers as T. Now we wanted to list I dot department name also, and we wanted to list C dot department name also. So here we wanted to apply the condition as uh, this where we wanted to use the natural join between this. So natural join teachers as T. So here we can apply this condition course C. Here ID and ID we need a matching. That's why we will apply that natural join. But this course ID and this course ID also we need to perform the matching. So we will apply the condition T. So thing is that if we are performing the natural join, we cannot use this variable. So natural join
Taji, पाकळली जुनस. घेऊन हाताने घेतल्यावर काय काय बाबा
so we will for this as we will not perform the natural join. We can, but there are three relations, so we will not perform the natural join. I dot id should be equal to p dot id and c dot course id should be equal to p dot course id. Okay, this we wanted to list. Let us execute this query. Course at C. ID in the field list is ambiguous, so we wanted to list this as a ID from the instructor. Done. So for this case, we don't have any instructor available who taught a course from the other department. That's why we will get result as null only. And why we are getting repeated entry? Because these people might have taught more than one subject. Okay, that's why this we can list by remove by using here we can go for distinct I'll get each ID as unique only. Right now there is no other department or there is no any entry which is having instructor department and course department as separate. So we will make a dummy entry in teachers. So in the teachers insert query we will apply. So ID we will take this as a 5 times 2 value course ID. Let us take this as a CS 101. This is just a dummy entry. Section ID again we will take that as a 1. Then semester we will take this as fall. And year we'll take this as a 2010. Okay. Go. Cannot add or foreign key constraint teachers course ID references section. Sorry. 2009. This entry is available into the teachers. One zero one four 2009. ID. Let us take 15151. One. Who will teach a course in the physics department? Physics 1. The course is taught in 1 fall 2009. 1. Constraint teachers ID references ID on delete cascade. ID we are having the value 1514. Now let us take a physics is available 10101. Yes. Now let us go for the previous query answer. Mm, 101. Yes, here we got an entry. Srinivasan belongs to computer science, but it is teaching a course in the physics department. So in this case, we can add one more condition here to the existing condition that here add the I dot department name shouldn't be equal to C dot department name. Okay. So this not equal attribute or condition we can check by using this operator also. So let us use the operator generally we use, not equal to and go. So this will list only single entry that Srinivasan belongs to computer science department and it is teaching a course in the physics department. Okay. So clear with this? So done with this. So here I declare we have completed our second experiment and you can try this query by your own also. So I will share this in the DB folder, whatever already we have started sharing. So soon I will put this complete file into that folder. Okay, any queries? Any queries?
Ma'am,
Yes.
I didn't understood the last query means.
Okay. So the last query is about we wanted to teach a course. We wanted to list those courses which are taught by the instructor. Now here in the schema, we are having instructor its own department and there is also department name available for the course. It means course department can be anything. It means just I belongs to the CSA department and if I am taking any course from the electronics and telecommunication department, then that course ID will be listed in the teachers. That consider my ID is 1. So my ID, that course ID consider ASL2 or 3, 4, etc. Then that course ID entry will be here. So the question says that find all instructors in the database to teach course other than their own department. Now my own department is computer science, but I am teaching a course from some another department. So in that case, how we can pass this condition? So here in these three tables, so how the linking can be done? That first I will list that I will find out those courses IDs which are taught by every instructor. So ID and ID should be matching here. So in the teachers and instructor, in order to check those courses which are taught by the instructor, I will check for the ID condition equivalent. So this condition I have checked here. Okay. So instructor, whenever we are having much more conditions, we use aliases. That is, we are renaming this. So for renaming this, instructor, I have used variable I. For the teachers, I have used T. And for the course, I have taught, I have taken C. So here course relation I have taken only to know in which department that course is what or taught in the that department. That's why here I will check for the ID and ID equivalence. And in order to know in which department that course is, I will check for the course ID and course ID matching. And then I will check whether this department, that is instructors department and this department is not matching. By default, whenever previously entry was there, everywhere the department name was matching. There was not a single entry also which was matching that this department name and this department name is different. And so whenever this entry and this entry was matching and everywhere the same department as their own, that's why I have added the entry for the uh, into the database that Srinivasan, which belongs to the computer science, is teaching a course in physics department. So here, whatever these conditions are there, these are only making sure that the instructor has taught this course and whatever this course is there, its title and department is available into the course. Now the third condition we need to check is that instructor's own department should not be equal to the course department. Okay, this condition explicitly we have checked and then we applied the result. Now clear?
Yeah, ma'am, it's clear.
Sure. Actually, where you got stuck, let me know.
Ma'am, actually, means how the query will execute means, what I thought, like from that query it will also listed means if the instructor is teaches for means it is assigned, sorry, he or she is assigned for computer science, and then he or she will again assign to again another sorry another department, then this query again listed the computer science as well as ENTC also means.
Ah, yes. No, no, no. Actually, a person cannot belong to multiple departments. Okay, that is the main thing. Okay, whatever this query is there, this is going to list instructor's ID, instructor's name, instructor's own department, and which courses he or she has taught from department. Okay, so are you sure about this query? Whether this query is clear to you?
Yeah, it's clear.
It's clear. Now my requirement is that whatever this department of instructor is there, if I wanted to know any instructor has taught course other than its own department, course other than their own department. Okay. Instructor's own department is available in this. It means I dot department. So now extra condition I want to check that if whatever this C dot department is there, if this department name and this department name is not matching, okay, not matching some another department, okay, that's why we have put this condition as whatever the instructor department is there, that should not be equal to the course own department. Okay, course he or she can taught from any department. So here just we are checking whether instructor is not teaching or teaching any course other than its own department. म्हणजे याचं डिपार्टमेंट कम्प्युटर सायन्स असू शकतं, पण कुठला सब्जेक्ट न शिकवलाय, कुठल्या डिपार्टमेंटचा सब्जेक्ट न शिकवलाय ते मला पाहिजे. मग समजा त्या दोघांचं जर इक्वल नसेल, म्हणजे माझं डिपार्टमेंट कम्प्युटर सायन्स आणि मी कोर्स जर ENTC मधला जर शिकवला, तर ते आन्सर मला इथे एक्सपेक्टेड आहे. मग त्या केसमध्ये मी फक्त एवढं चेक करणार की त्यानं शिकवलेला सब्जेक्टचा त्याचा आणि त्या सब्जेक्टचा डिपार्टमेंट नेम सेम नसायला पाहिजे. And that's why we have added this extra condition.
Okay, now it's clear.
Sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Okay. So here we will stop now. So have a nice day. And those students who are having backlog, please be ready for the examination. Soon the schedule will be given to you for this. Soon we will share a schedule with you where how the examination will take place and what is the timetable, etc. So start preparing for your final examination. Those students who are having backlog. Okay. So have a nice day.